So, on the morning show today, I was asked to do a video on the things that haven't worked out so well this year. I will talk about a couple of items that I had expected more from, and I'll let you know exactly why they let me down. This doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad item, it just wasn't for me. So, the first one I'm going to talk about is probably going to be something that is a little controversial because it's everywhere. It's all over my FYP. It's on everyone's talking about it like it's a thing. And I also feel a little bad because this was gifted to me. But I'm still glad I tried it because I think I would have loved it, except I'm a texture person. The cloth and paper clear traveler's cover. I liked that it was clear because then I could use these like pretty folders that I have from travelers, or like the pretty inserts, or like this amazing Steve Moran notebook in here with the pandas. Like, how cute is that you can actually see the stuff inside? I loved that idea. And then I got it in my hands. I don't like the texture at all of this vinyl. It feels plastic. You know what it reminds me of is those old school galoshes, like kid galoshes, like the ones that were like cheap, not the nice ones, but like the ones that your mom would get from like the Dollar General. And I just don't like it. It doesn't feel luxurious. It doesn't feel quality. I mean, it's thick, don't get me wrong. And I think it would take a beating. But I don't know. I guess I'm spoiled by leather and I want it to feel good in my hands, and this just doesn't. It's the Rytech Click Tech fountain pen. I wanted to love this, especially because they had this gorgeous dark purple one. I wanted to love it. But I tell you what, I I inked it, I got it, I let it sit, I did all the right things, and it hard starts like crazy. I cannot get this thing to flow well at all. I even tried to do some writing with it to show you like how spotty it was. Like, I had to go back over all of this again because it just would stop, and it still does. And I don't know if I just got a bad one and I should give it another shot, because I wanted to be able to recommend these. They're a great price point. They make some specifically for left-handers, and I think that's amazing because that's a problem that a lot of fountain pen people tend to ignore. So, yeah, again, I wanted to be able to recommend it, but I've had such a craptastic experience with this pen. I think a lot of people love these, and I don't know if I just got a bad batch, but the Wearing Goal swatch cards. Now, I'm going to say specifically the Atlas stationer ones. I don't think this is an Atlas's issue. I think this is a manufacturing issue. I got a stack of these and I, I used about half of them, and then I just stopped because they don't show the ink properties well. Like, you swatch on here, and I wish I had one for an example, but I literally threw it away. Um, it just doesn't show shading well. It doesn't show variance in color, especially if you've got an ink that is very polychromatic, or like shades different colors. These don't show the different ink properties very well. They'll show shimmer, don't get me wrong, but like shading and sheeners and stuff just don't really behave well on these guys. And I was a little surprised because Wearing Goal is usually one of my shining star companies. Like, I usually swear by their inks and stuff like that, so to have these kind of flop for me was a shock. The cute clips. So not like the clampies, like the Penco clampies, or these really great like metal ones, or the like travelers style brass ones. These are great and I love these and I swear by these. But a lot of these have started coming out, like the cutesy clips. And while they still function just fine, they're so tiny that they hold like nothing. So unless you're holding like 3 pages and maybe a pencil board, this ain't gonna accomplish much. And it's definitely not gonna hold as much capacity or have as much weight as like one of these guys, or one of these big ones, or even a Penco Clampy. So these are adorable and I love them, and I still keep this one because I refuse. It's just too cute. But at the end of the day, it's just cute. It's not really functional. And so this was a disappointment for me this year because these have sprouted everywhere and they just aren't the business. Now, it could be the brand of these, because I do love some of the other roller pen like brands I've had, but these ones were highly recommended to me by a TikToker and are on the TikTok shop. And I just wasn't, I'm not impressed. And I'll show you guys why with these. So it's this AECHY. So AECHY. I don't know why it won't focus, but gotta love an iPhone. But these roller ones, they're like a stamping pen. So it's got like a stamp. So see these hearts and dots. That's the line it does. The cap is insane. Like that is so tight. It's so hard to open. But this roller wheel on here just does not. I mean, I have to like force it down and like make sure my hand does not move and doesn't let it move to work right. Let me show you. I have it open and here you can kind of see the stamper on there. But like if I am just setting it down and rolling it, it it does not do well. Like I have to push really hard. And the other thing I've noticed is with some of the designs, let me see if it'll, yeah, see how it kind of, it wants to pull me down. Like I am forcing it to go straight. Like it stamps okay. It's still really hit or miss. Um, so I mean, I do keep some of them, but like this heart one especially, and then there was a couple others that just do this to me. They like just don't want to roll straight. I will say the fine tip side is really nice because that's very, very fine tip. And that side is nice. So I do keep all of them because the fine tip is nice. So one of them you guys already know about. You've seen my video about the Paper Republic cover I got. And while they did send me another one and it was nice, it still wasn't what I had expected. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you should have got a different size, or no, it's the color you got. But to have something like that, that your entire audience knows that there's something wonky with that size, or there's something off with that color, and like, oh, you just got the wrong one, that tells me that you got a quality control issue. So, the Midori date stamper. So this is one that has this really cute design on it. It's got like a stationery design and it stamps the date, right? And it rolls and like you can pick your date and everything else. The problem I have with this is straight out of the box, and this thing is not cheap. It's over $40. I wanted to love it because I wanted to use it in my daily journal. Like I loved the stenciling design. I mean, obviously I spent 40 bucks on it. I wanted it to work. And what's happening is that the outside frame stamps fantastic. The date sucks. That should say 14th. Oops, is it going to focus? Come on. It should say 14th of March. You cannot see the dates. And that has been the same way with every date. It's just not working. And I really don't want to spend another $40 on one of these stampers when I have an old school rotary one that works just as well, just to have the frame around it. So another disappointment. Everything I've talked about here, there's a positive side to it. And I really think a lot of these things that I'm complaining about, it's just my luck. And I'm okay with that. And I'm willing to give the companies another chance. Like, obviously, I'm going to buy from Wearing Goal again. Love Wearing Goal. And I'm even thinking about buying that new fountain pen that they came out with. And I love Midori. Midori paper is like my favorite ever. I'm just probably not going to spend the money on one of these stampers again. I've learned my lesson with that kind of thing. It's like, that's not their thing. Paper certainly is, but maybe the stamper, not so much. But that doesn't mean, never buy those, guys. That's not what I'm saying. I think a lot of these, again, were my experience. And I think a lot of people value honest opinions and honest experience and sharing that. And the companies I've talked about today are some big names: Click Tech, Right Tech, Midori, Wearing Goal, Cloth and Paper. I mean, huge names, Paper Republic. It doesn't mean that they're always a bad experience. And I don't want to discourage anyone from trying it out for themselves. If you really want that PR, go get that PR. If you really want to try Cloth and Paper vinyl cover, go get it. I'm just letting you know my opinions and my experiences.